Why would you use butt cream, something that's meant for down there, to get rid of bags that form up here? So that brings us to the gold standard for giving a long-lasting and effective solution for under eye bags, and that is surgery. As an eyelid surgeon, this is my whole world. And the most common reason that people have under eye bags is for something called fat prolapse. So basically, all of us have fat under our eyes. It's actually kind of behind the eye socket bone. So if you feel your cheekbone, the fat is behind there. Over time, the tissue, there's like a thin membrane called the septum that holds that fat back behind the bone. Over time, that stretches, just like a lot of other things in our body. And that fat can pooch forward. Sometimes this even happens in younger folks in their 20s. It's just more of a genetic thing. When that fat is pooching forwards, when the light hits the fat, it casts reflection, and then it casts a shadow below it. And so what you get is you end up having light and then shadow, and that makes for the appearance of an eye bag or a hollow, dark area under the eyes. So it's the fat prolapse, the fat pooching out, that's often the cause of this. The second cause of under eye bags is that you don't have enough fat in that area where the shadow was. So the way I like to explain it to my patients is it's almost like, let's say you had a terrible city planner that didn't know what they were doing. They put a speed bump in the road, and then they put a dip in the road right next to it. So what would that mean? The cars would just fly right off of it. So in the same way, when you're sitting upright and you've got fluorescent light coming down on you, the light's gonna hit that fat, and then it's gonna shadow in that area where you don't have enough volume on your cheekbone, because we kind of lose some of that volume as we age, and then you're gonna get a really dark circle there because it's just careening over. So that's another way of explaining that the solution surgically is we wanna create a little bit more harmony in how the light hits this area. We want there to be kind of equal volume all around here, partially by taking away some of that fat or moving it down, and sometimes by building up that fat through something called fat transfer surgery. So the surgery to move around or remove the fat is a very straightforward procedure where I go behind the eyelid in that little pink pocket there, so there's no incision on the skin. That allows me to get to that fat that's sitting above the cheekbone, and sometimes I can just slide it down to create more evenness, and sometimes I'm removing a little bit of it because I know I'm going to augment the areas under it with fat transfer. So those surgeries are called a lower blepharoplasty and a fat transfer surgery. Those are two components that are really key to the treatment of this area if you really want to remove or get rid of under eye bags. This is going to give you a more permanent fix. It's actually going to fix the anatomy to give you kind of that rested, natural look after surgery that you had maybe in your youth. If you want to learn more about the science of aging around the eyes, check out my feed, and thank you for watching.